What's up everybody, Justin Colby here, and on this video we are going to talk about how Cyber Monday did $10.8 billion in sales. What does that mean for Black Friday, and what does that mean for malls and retailers moving forward? Check it out. What's up guys? Well, welcome back to this video, and this is all things business, entrepreneurship, and real estate, and this is going to be a combination of all three, baby. Black Friday and Cyber Monday just passed, and the numbers are in, and you won't believe it. $10.8 billion came from Cyber Monday sales alone. That is over 15% increase year over year. When you're talking with a B and you're talking 15% increase, those numbers are simply staggering. Now, the Black Friday phenomenon has been going on since I can remember, since I was a kid, so let's just call it 20 years plus. That has always been a phenomenon as long as I can remember, and that's the fun of, you know, either going to the stores like at midnight or waking up super early and getting to the stores to wait in line for the best gifts for Christmas or getting the best deals. And roughly 10 years ago or so, there began this Cyber Monday where online shopping became such a big phenomenon. Now, it hasn't been such a big make or break for businesses, but this year, during COVID and all things that are going on, it really has been a game changer. According to the Forbes article, which, by the way, I will link all articles that I reference and where you can go on a deeper dive here in the comments below. According to a Forbes article I read, the number of the sales volume that they currently experienced in terms of sales for retailers on Cyber Monday, they typically won't hit that number until mid to the end of December. They are way above the mark for those retailers, and that's really good news for the economy. I myself was a little skeptical. Now, yes, I always want to buy Christmas presents, and I believe everyone wants to have that love for Christmas, but I still thought somewhere in the back of my mind, between all the people that were being laid off and furloughed, between all the things that are happening financially, I didn't think the Black Friday and Cyber Monday combination was gonna have a big impact in the retail space. I did know Cyber Monday was gonna outperform Black Friday. That to me was obvious, but as a whole, these numbers are staggering, and it's actually gonna change a little bit about what I thought is happening to these retail spaces. So let's get into retail and the numbers that went into retail. Now, first and foremost, I actually have visited several different malls here in the Phoenix area for a multitude of reasons and shopping, and malls for the most part are pretty shut down around here if they're indoor malls. The malls that are outdoor, however, seem to be bustling. And so being able to read some of these articles, and I'm gonna reference the same Forbes articles that really went on a deep dive into these numbers, it tended to make sense that outdoor retailers did better than mall retailers. However, the malls didn't do as bad as they thought they would, which then poses the question, what's gonna happen with these indoor malls? Are they gonna stay indoor malls, or are they gonna start converting them into maybe housing or into some other commercial property? I know of a mall right here in Phoenix that is actually up to be balloted to actually turn the indoor mall into lower income housing for individuals, which is a great idea. We need more housing, but that is actually something that this article started making me rethink, that maybe this isn't gonna be as big of a transition as I have been believing. So let me tell you a little bit more about the numbers that I found from these outdoor stores, indoor stores, and Cyber Monday. Now, to no one's surprise, the actual brick and mortar, the store shopping was down, the foot traffic was down by over 40%. I don't think that's much of a shocker. Here's what is the shocker. The actual sales and revenue were only down by 20%. Which means the stores were actually converting better than they normally do, and the price points of what they were selling actually were higher than they normally were, which is really good news, obviously, for the retailers. Now compare the mall and the retailers that are outdoors or mom and pop retailers. The interesting thing was the malls took the biggest hit. The outdoor and the mom and pop retailers did take a hit, just not quite as large as the mall retailers, which is good news for the mom and pop shops. For the whole weekend, including Sunday, the Black Friday sales were down in terms of retailers. The actual foot traffic was down by 49%. Black Friday alone was 42%, but as a whole, for the entire weekend, those sales that started to really become Thursday through Sunday sales really actually took a pretty big hit as a whole, as the foot traffic alone was down by 49% through the weekend. Now, according to the article, part of this is because people were ready and willing to just shop online to get those deals. Another part is these retailers started the sales earlier. They actually started the sales early to midweek of Black Friday, Cyber Monday week, which really kind of skews some of these statistics. Now, I personally always believe you can skew statistics in any way you actually want. And when you do just look at the numbers themselves, it looks like retailers took a massive hit in terms of, 49% less foot traffic, down almost 25% in sales. But the reality is some of this is planned out, meaning these retailers, especially the mom and pops, started to push online sales more through this time. They got their websites up and running. There was more of a presence on their behalf, and they started the sales much earlier in the week. So even though some of these numbers do seem pretty drastic, like, oh my God, how is not every business going out of business? The reality is some of this is skewed to the actual real numbers of earlier sales drove in less made less foot traffic a reality. And then obviously people are ready to shop online anyways because they know Cyber Monday is coming, and so that really just triggered more people to stay home. Not necessarily the retailer's fault. What the retailers did do well, for the most part, is they increased their own online presence, right? And that has been over the last 9 months or so of COVID, that a lot of the smarter retailers have really gone heavily onto an online presence, and that has kept their sales up, which is great for the retailers, because if they can do a combination of what Amazon is doing, which is Amazon is heavily online, but now that you see they have these retail stores opening up, they have a combination of both. And even though potentially the retail store doesn't do nearly as well, the online store really holds the value and brings in more profit margin. Now, as I told you, these videos are all about business, real estate, and entrepreneurship. So you have been watching my other videos. If you haven't, make sure to go watch them. And as a matter of fact, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit the notification button, and please subscribe. It really helps the YouTube gods get my videos out there to the world. So this now I want to transition into what does this all mean for the economy? Because as a whole, the numbers were staggeringly in the positive in terms of sales during this weekend. Obviously, Cyber Monday crushed the numbers. Like I said, over 14% or over 15% above year over year. And when you're talking, billions of dollars, that's a whole lot of money. Now, what does this mean for malls? What does this mean for mom and pop shops? What does this mean for outdoor malls versus indoor malls? Or is there going to be a redevelopment of indoor malls where they might turn them into outdoor malls? Now, I don't know if any of these decisions really have been made yet, but what I can tell you is there is going to be opportunity. There are already individuals like our boy Tai Lopez, who is out there buying brick and mortar retail brands and bringing them online. If you own a brick and mortar company, then I don't necessarily think you shut the doors and only go online. I think having a presence in both is really important. And as a whole, I do believe the banks are going to have to restructure with the landlords of these buildings. The landlords are going to have to restructure with the tenants of these buildings to make everything much more affordable. Here's the caveat. The man way above, the Fed, right? That's the person that's going to likely have to end up bailing out the banks if they have to restructure the terms with the landlords of these retail properties, because the landlords have to restructure with the tenants. And if the tenants go only online, who's to say what happens here? A lot of question marks, but what I can tell you is this has been a positive sales experience for retailers as a whole, much better than they thought it would be. So I don't believe there's gonna be a drastic change in what happens in the retail space, not at this moment. However, as I've mentioned, there are already talks about indoor malls being converted into housing, or indoor malls converting into outdoor malls, etc. The reality is no one's gonna stop shopping. And the numbers do show a high conversion rate when in retail shops and a higher price point of sale in retail shops. People will always want to be going out and shopping and feeling and touching and seeing, in my opinion. The data does actually show that as I started doing some more reading, but I think it starts to take shape in a different manner, right? I think some of the higher end stuff will remain. The lower end, maybe tchotchke type stores, those are gonna have to likely transition. Who's to say everything? But again, you know, there's a land of opportunity here. There's gonna create a lot of opportunity out there, whether you convert your brick and mortar into an online, or you know, maybe you're in the real estate space and you start to look at some of these commercial properties and to take an opportunity that maybe you wouldn't have had if something like this didn't happen. So good outlook as a whole. Again, write any questions, comments, smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribing, and if you are in real estate, go over to the scienceofflipping.com. There's a lot of free giveaways, and start listening to the Science of Flipping podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and so many other platforms. The Science of Flipping, all real estate all the time. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.